So hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the Maliss cards, and for the most part, this will be my first impressions on them, right? So their effects, honestly, they're not like that good individually. They're kind of meh. So for example, if we have March Hare, what does this do? It banishes a Maliss card from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. So, is there a single good Maliss card for you to banish? So, in this case, let's assume we're trying to play turn 0. It is our opponent's turn, and they normal summoned, I don't know, maybe Taya, or maybe they normal summoned Moyi. It don't really matter. They just did something. And then we want to activate March Hare. Is there a single good target for March Hare? So, let's see. MTP 07. If we were to banish this, then it does absolutely nothing. Okay. How about this one? Nothing. This one. Nothing. So if you banish the traps, it does nothing. Maliss in the Mirror. What if we banish this? Target a Maliss card in your graveyard. There isn't one. Alright, that does nothing. Maliss in the Underground. That does nothing whenever you banish it. Okay. So then let's check all of your Maliss main deck monsters, I guess. Dormouse. That does nothing. This is an ignition effect. Chessy Cat. Ignition effect. Does nothing. White Rabbit. Oh, the first card that can actually activate. So I guess the only play you have is March Hare, banishing White Rabbit, special summon White Rabbit, set a Maliss trap from your deck. And what does this actually allow you to do? Add one Maliss monster from your deck to your hand. Special summon one of your Maliss monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Special summon one Maliss monster from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon one Maliss Link monster from your extra deck instead. For the rest of this turn, that summon monster cannot attack, and neither player can activate its effects. So this looked like, for a second, I thought this was going to do something. I thought this was going to summon like Heart Scripter, and then you'd be able to activate Heart Scripter, but if you summon Heart Scripter, it can't activate its effect, right? Cannot activate, or is it negated? What's it say? Cannot activate its effects. So this prevents its activation from being like negated and all that, but it has nothing to do if it can't activate to begin with. So that does absolutely nothing. Nothing. Yeah. So you can't play turn 0 like at all. I guess if you were to do this has to be done in main phase, right? If your opponent does a lot of hot nothing, I guess you can put a hard scripter or something on your field to set up for next turn, I guess. That's about it. Doing nothing. Alright. Then we have yeah, that this doesn't actually do anything, right? I think the only combo for this is to set MCP 07 probably, and then like you're probably trying to add something. But will all of these like combo even? Will they even work together? Like your deck can play under like macro, I guess, which is nice. I mean, you're not like gaining any advantage like Kashtira does, so that's also noteworthy. Because you don't have any effects that discard cards or anything like that. You don't benefit off of that at all. And also, these effects, they banish for effect and not for cost, so you can't continue playing if you get hand trapped. So like, for example, if we do normal summon Dormouse and we have like Chessy Cat in hand, and then maybe White Rabbit in hand as well, if we imperm Dormouse, there is no continuation to this, right? I mean, you could like link off Dormouse, for like a Link 1 because Malice is Cyberse for some reason, but there's no continuation because there's no Link 1 that will just banish a card in your graveyard, right? So that's not particularly helpful, right? So, okay. If normal summon Dormouse, Impermanent Dormouse, there's like very little place where you could continue. You would need like Malice in Underground or like certain cards here. But on the flip side, if you do open one of the traps, you could set this before activating Dormouse, I guess. And even bigger brain is if you set a card and it's actually just a bluff and it's actually like a triple tactics talents and you never actually had um, one of these Malice traps to I guess activate to kind of like dodge something. If you were to set this, you could activate it, right? So we could do like set um like TB11 normal summon Dormouse, activate Dormouse effect, and then if Imperm we can activate some of these cards, I guess. That's annoying. And then because a lot of these effects aren't adding, that there won't be choke points sometimes like with Dormouse here. You can't Ash Dormouse. You could only realistically like Impermanent, which is really annoying here, I guess. But yeah, all this stuff aside, what does this deck actually end on, like endboard wise? I haven't seen it yet, so legitimately no clue. I guess it's like just removal, right? So if I were to just drop like an evenly matched, is there like any answer to that or any like removal? If I hit them with backer removal, is there a good answer? Do you have something for that? Just like no idea. And also, they at least block you now, except not all of them block, right? Yeah, that doesn't have a lock effect. I guess it's not special summoning. Uh, the ones that special summon themselves, they have you are locked into link summons only. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for link monsters, so it's not like Branded Fusion. So I could technically do a full XYZ combo, like maybe with Pearly first, and then start resolving my Malice cards if I really wanted to. That's technically possible. And there are no negates inherently in this deck anywhere, so no real answer to Nibiru as far as I can tell. So it's like kind of awkward. I would have to like see this deck a little bit more to really figure out like what this deck is kind of all about. But the thing about this deck is I don't know, it doesn't feel like that cracked. It just feels like moderately annoying for me right now. Well, I'll figure it out later. But yeah. So interaction wise, what do we actually really what do we have with Malice Pier? I guess we'll focus on Malice Pier because Malice hybrid builds, I guess, are pretty possible. So, White Binder. This sets a Malice trap from your deck or graveyard. Does that do anything? No, not really. You can technically, if you could banish the White Binder, I guess if you special summon White Binder, set a trap, you can then banish White Binder to do a draw, and you could do that on your opponent's turn as well. That's something, I guess. Art Scripter. Banish a card. Alright. And none of these cards really do anything, right? Special summon a Malice. That does what? Special summon one of your Malice monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. That might do a little bit more. I guess it could like trigger this effect. Potentially. I don't know. This was already on the field, maybe? Confusion. Much visible confusion. Alright. And then the ransom, what do you do? Anything at all? Add a Malice spell. So that does nothing on your opponent's turn. banish a cyber sponsor from your deck. Aside from the mouse cards, there's only like Dotscaper, I think. There's not much else worth banishing. Yeah. Feels incredibly mid right now. Yeah, I mean, if you were playing against this deck, like, right now, I guess it's fine because the deck is getting pretty popular right now and people are messing around with it, but I don't think it warrants playing like Lancia or like Chaos Hunter because okay, but what if you're playing like against some kind of Fiendsmith deck? You know, they still haven't hit Fiendsmith at all. So yeah, Lancia, Chaos Hunter, they do absolutely nothing against those decks. So like should I care? And also for Chaos Hunter specifically, if I was playing, for example, Fiendsmith Maliss, can't I like attach to Engraver, send Chaos Hunter? Feels kind of terrible, honestly. Like, does Chaos Hunter even beat any other decks? I think you would be moderately annoyed if you were playing like Kashtira, like a little bit, I guess. Chaos Hunter is like a terrible level though. So if we go ahead and put two guys on the field, we can then go take the Chaos Hunter actually by making Big Eye. Yeah, that's the name. I was thinking like One Eye for a second. Like I just couldn't remember the name of the monster. Special summon Big Eye, take Chaos Hunter, and then make Guy, I guess. So like special summon Unicorn, special summon Chaos Hunter, special summon Fenrir with the effect of Theosis. Fenrir adds Rise Heart, special summon Rise Heart, making I guess Big Eye with the 2, and then we use Big Eye to take Chaos Hunter. Then we can activate Rise Heart effect to banish, and then we can make another rank 7. So in this case, I guess maybe we could make uh, Shankra Era, I guess. And I mean, yeah, I guess that kind of sucks because Fenrir is at 1, actually. Yeah. If you have one additional extender, I think you're just, like, fine. So if we had a starting hand with, like, Hysteria Birth plus Unicorn, we could then, instead of banishing absolutely air on Rise Heart, we could banish, like, Hysteria Ogre or something, bring that back, and then make a Rise Heart with Chaos Hunter, Rise Heart, Ogre. Yeah, I guess. Anyway. Yeah. This deck just feels like a little bit obnoxious to Handtrap. And because they like banish their guys, is Droll actually a really good option? I'm not really sure. Does this have the effect to set specifically instead of add? Draw cards. Which one was it? White Rabbit. Set a Maliss trap. And then what effect is this? Was it this one? Add one. This is the only effect that adds here. Well, aside from the trap, I guess, right? Can you just play around Droll, actually? So, just, like, board breakers, I guess, honestly, wouldn't that be more efficient than playing, like, Lancia and Chaos Hunter? I mean, the only benefit is that, you know, the game will go faster because you don't have to wait for your opponent to full combo. That's about it, I guess. Huh, can't believe Evenly is finally going to see some mileage again, maybe, for a little bit. Unless they have a line that plays around that. I guess there was a thing. But then we could just maybe try playing Burn with like Lava Golem and stuff. You know, just Lava Golem tribute over the guys, burn them because they pay light points. Maybe that works. Actually, now that I think about it, I think they might go into like terahertz. Is it like terahertz? And then this sends Desev Worm or something for a spell trap negate potentially. But I don't know if like that's like super accessible if you need or if you need to open like hella engine for this. And even if you did, like, you know, Lava Golem effect, Evenly effect, GG question mark. No idea. In terms of starters, though, March Hare, this isn't a starter. Dormouse, this is a starter. How many starters do we actually have? Uh, Dormouse is a starter. White Rabbit is a starter. Chessy Cat is not a starter. It does the draw thing. Maliss in Underground. That's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Or no, that's 9. My brain's like fried. And then if you have I think, is this even combo? Actually, if I add a Malice monster to my hand and I normal summon like a Malice monster that does nothing, like let's say normal summon March Hare, activate this to add. None of them do anything, right? Except actually with March Hare specifically. If I had March Hare, I could banish the other Malice card and then special summon that banish Malice monster. Okay, yeah, that works. We had Chessy Cat, I guess. That'd be the worst thing we could have. Aside from that, this is just kind of combo, right? Huh. And then how many summons does it actually take to put up an interaction? Because this seems like, let's see, against the Mulcharmy cards, you're actually chilling because of your summon location, so you're fine. Against Maxi, you're getting cooked because you're going to special summon like a billion monsters. So I think TCG players saying insert deck is broken or complaining about insert deck, yeah, it's because their game isn't like I guess it's not balanced properly. Maybe they should just bring back Maxi, honestly, because I feel like the Mulcharmy cards literally do nothing, and they're running the Mulcharmy cards. So like, why run the Mulcharmy cards if you already know this is going to happen? Like with Memento, with Malice, I don't know how many other decks, like, or if there are a lot of decks that actually die to the Mulcharmies. Like it, yeah. I mean, hand traps are just like a slippery slope. That whole topic, just whatever. All right, this is like searchable, but is this even good? Like, pure that this is doing a lot of hot nothing. If we throw in an Apollosa in the mix, I think Apollosa is like all of the interactions you're going to be using. It's just some kind of generic Link monster that's going to be carrying this deck. That's what the impression of this deck. Well, that's my impression of this deck so far, anyways. So I mean, going second, this is just an ordinary deck, right? So is this even better than like a Crystron? Like Crystron, whenever I play against Crystron, it feels like absolutely terrible because of Cluster being like giga broken. Like, what am I going to do about this? Also, Crystron cards you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. Like, that's pretty good against Malice, probably. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, sounds good. Your cards cannot be banished. I think they have like card effects that banish or something. And then for card effects, I don't know exactly what you can set up with this, but you have an Omni Negate at least, and some pops. And also these effects are actually ignition effects, which kind of sucks. So if you don't have the traps, then we could do like a destruction effect on Dormouse, and then it just goes into the graveyard, and you have like a bunch of hot nothing. If you don't have like a trap, I guess, right? Yeah. So normal summon Dormouse, I activate, I don't know, let's say DP effect to pop Dormouse. What now? You better have March Hare in your hand, which I don't even know if you want to play March Hare because this card does like hot nothing. So that's the thing, I guess. I mean, breaking down this deck will take some time. It's got like a lot of interactions and a lot of things to consider with hand traps, I guess. So I don't really have a full answer to that right now or what the deck fully does. But I mean, first impressions of the deck, it's like okay. Doesn't seem like incredibly broken or anything. It's just like a little bit hand trap resistant, which is interesting. Fire King, Unchained, all of those decks had some forms of like being hand trap resistant. Well, Unchained and Fire King aren't going to be as effective because those cards were ashable somewhat, like with the Unchained Traps and such, I guess. I think they also played like maybe well under Joel. I don't 100% remember. Oh wait, is that Pin the Bullseye? Big fan. Anyway, yeah, these effects like they don't feel that cracked per se. I think the power of this deck really depends on what generic links are available and how strong those are. But even then, with generic links, like going second, this deck isn't like going to be anything particularly special. And I feel like it's not going to be that good going second, which is problematic. You know, that there's no side deck or anything, you know? If you're going second and I just set up a fairly strong endboard, you're just going to get cooked anyways. And speaking of endboards, yeah, I got one for this. Yo, I'm going to go first and I'm going to drop double Assault Dragon, like 2 or 3, and you're paying life points, and there's no payoff to the lose life points like Punk, so I don't have to worry about that. So, uh, let's just say, let's assume you start with Gold Sark and you're going to try to go into maybe Dormouse. Uh, if I have, we'll go with 2 copies, I guess, of Assault Dragon. So 2 copies, that would be a burn for 1,400 per effect you activate here. So that'd be 1,700 on your first effect, and then you would be at wow, that math is hard, man. 1,400, so that's 3,100. Okay, so that's from activating Dormouse twice, and then we're going to I'm assuming special summon White Rabbit. Then that is going to be at how much? Pay that's 1,700, right? So that's 4,800, and then activate effect of White Rabbit, and you have burn for another 1,400. So then you have been burned for 6,200. So you've essentially resolved 2 on field effects, and you have 2 monster effects left to your name. Also, these guys at this point are armed and ready. That's 4 activation, so that is going to be 4 black feather counters on both. So that means you can be essentially Zeused twice at this point as well. And that's with 2. If we throw in 1 additional, you would be dead by the time you're activating White Rabbit effect too, I think. Yeah, that's pretty terrible, I guess. So yeah, burn effects. Especially the tax effects. Masquerade. Seems like pretty poppin'. Like, what are you gonna do about it, right? It seems fine for going for a strategy, and I mean, second strategy. Yo, with the extra deck, I kind of saw the extra deck for a few mouse players, and I noticed something about them. They have no answer to Black Order, so yeah, all of your extra deck guys are pretty small, so you can't tribute summon any of them. Unless maybe you'd like to try to tribute summon Lancia on top of a token, I suppose. Well, aside from that, you know, I'll be able to activate Blackguard and give you tokens, and then you're probably just locked out playing the game. Just Ojamaing your opponent, that works. And then there's also like maybe we could Mech Knight lock, and that's fine. And then also all of these monsters are actually dark, so yeah, if we're feeling particularly mean, we could do something like a Protoss, that type of effect. There's like several, and that would just work for the most part. And then what else do we have? Oh yeah, you know, they're all like cyber sponsors for the most part. So Eschatos as well could work. But I mean, having to declare, I guess, like Cybers with Eschatos is a little bit more difficult, so maybe not that necessarily. If we want to kill their extra deck though, pretty easy to do that with like a Lithos Agam or a few other cards. Not as annoying as Fiendsmith because they can't really be recurred if we just send them from the extra deck to the graveyard, which also gives us the option to like do Magnite Scars as well. This is also technically an option, and I mean, cool, right? Uh, all of these are fairly decent options, and then you could just make a regular endboard, and it's like fine. Interestingly enough, like SP isn't that good against them, which is technically a good thing, I think, for the game overall. So, you know, maybe now you can consider playing Unicorn again, because now here's a decent reason to. Because if you like banish Ignition Effect Dormouse, it'll just summon itself again, right? I guess you can remove Dormouse though still with SP, so it'd be like SP special summon banish Dormouse, Dormouse effect to special summon, Dormouse effect to banish a card, SP effect to banish Dormouse again, and then it won't be summoned again. It will be returned though, I guess. There is that. I don't think there's a point in making it so neither player can like banish cards. That's kind of like mid, honestly. If you were to mill them out, that'd be like still fine. You know, just um, what was it called? Uh, what's his face? Morphing Jar FTK? Sure, you do something like that. You'd just play a regular deck, and you're still pretty chillin', honestly. I think backer removal would be pretty nice though. There's also the fact that I'm pretty sure everything in this deck probably targets. I'm not even going to bother checking, right? Wait, does it target? No, wait, this doesn't target. Oh. Oh. A little bit annoying. Hmm. But I guess backer removal would be nice still. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we could play Punk, and that'd be fine, right? We can return their cards. Like, if they control two of these monsters, we can just return them, and then they're just back in the hand, and that's probably okay. Somewhat. We also have, like, effects like Jam Fever, which destroy. And then, yeah, that's fine. Orchist is kind of like whatever, I guess. Whatever. So, yeah, I mean, more thinking required, but first impressions, it's okay. It doesn't feel that broken. I mean, I guess there's a reason they didn't limit any of their cards on release, right? And I mean, as a guy that's a big fan of Banish as removal, I mean, this deck doesn't even interest me that much, honestly. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem to do anything, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So maybe I'll build it later, maybe I won't. We'll see, I guess, if I can come up with anything cool to do. Otherwise, I don't know. I'll probably just come up with something else to build, I guess. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.